Everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse, Tuckaway Marks Point, with this Friday's fishing report. Bit of a mixed sort of weather pattern coming over the next few days. Beautiful here today, bit of nor'west, plenty of blue sky, particularly to the south, but we're going to get a bit of a sou'wester tomorrow morning, and it could get up to around about 20 knots. It'll back off through the afternoon, they tell us, and it'll certainly start out a little bit lighter on Sunday, but we're going to get a southerly, and we've got sou'easters and some cold conditions Sunday, Monday into Tuesday. It's unfortunate that that is the case. The reports from out wide have been fantastic. Simon Conway and crew, 3 yellowfin on Tuesday out there, biggest one, a bit over 50 kilo. Troy Payton went out last Saturday, fished out on the back of the canyons, picked up a fish 40 kilo, got another smaller fish, but then come back in as the wind picked up a little bit. But up and down the coast here at the moment, particularly off Swansea in the Southern Canyons area, some great yellowfin. And when you're starting to catch these fish 40, 50 kilo plus, that is fantastic fishing. The other surprise package is, with the amount of bait out wide, there have been a few striped marlin around. There's been 2 striped marlin caught up on the car park, and basically I'm hearing exactly the same thing down off Sydney. So we're seeing yellowfin tuna and striped marlin off our part of the coast. Let's hope that this time next week when we do the report, we're going to be able to get a few of you guys out there. Back in on the farm, bag limit catches of snapper. My good mate Duncan Manderson and Steve Riley were out there on Tuesday, fished the farm area, bag limit of beautiful snapper, biggest snapper around about 3.5 kilo, but there was quite a few fish, 2 kilo, that 1.5 kilo bracket, and towards the end we're just releasing fish and upgrading to get to their bag limit. They got a beautiful trag which they sent my way, which I really appreciated, but the fishing in this deep water at the moment is next level. Plenty of snapper, not a lot of current around, and very little bycatch. The boys got bit off a couple of times, a couple of small nanny guy, you know, a couple of bits and bobs, but very little in bycatch, just plenty of snapper on that farm area, in particular down towards Texas, where you'll start to see your kings and probably a little bit more trag activity down around there. If you're going to get on the inshore, look, there are a few reds in close, but a lot of tailor, but you'll just have to move around. That water temp has come off, and it's just not quite right yet for that inshore snapper fishery. But you've just got to have a bit of a look. But a lot of tailor, and certainly, you know, a lot of those blue spot flathead that we talk about on that drift line. Along the beaches, last Saturday up here at Belmont Beach, shoulder to shoulder. In fact, some of the guys that went up there, they didn't even bother fishing because there was just so many people there. Tailor and salmon have been getting caught off our local beaches, and again up towards Stockton, tailor and salmon again, right along our coastal strip. But none of these salmon at the moment, guys, have come into the channel. Yes, there are a few scattered fish in amongst the tailor schools on the back of the lake, but nothing in the channel yet. So again, time will tell. Rock fishing, some very, very good drummer fishing happening down around that Catherine Bay. A couple of the boys we know got some beautiful fish down there the other day. Got a dozen fish, kept only 5, but some really nice fish up to around about 2 kilo. Mixed in with that, a few very good brim as well, and I definitely know on the ocean rocks they've been getting some beautiful ludric. Here on the lake at the moment, it's that southern end that's fishing well, Pulborough Island south. But again, last week the fish were on the bite. This week it's been really hard, particularly after that bit of rain we had Sunday into Monday. So you're just going to have to work around. The guys struggled on Tuesday and Wednesday out there, but it just picked itself up a little bit yesterday. I've got another cracking tailor dropped off from my good mate Stevie Norris, and I don't even have to go fishing at the moment. These fish just keep rolling up, which is just fantastic. But there's some big tailor down the back of the lake. Again, still a few flatted around and still a few reds, but you're just going to have to move around. A few squid just on some of those isolated patches, guys. But again, you will have your time cut out, and you're going to have to put it in late if you want to get a few of these due. But there's some big brim. I know Johnny Frith from work, he's been able to get some cracking fish along the edges down there as well. But you've got to put the time in. Those oily base baits, guys, are the way to go. Now these tailor, in particular, down at the back of the lake are in the deeper water. We talked about it last week. There are fish up on the surface, but the bigger fish are down deep. And the use of those tail dancers, guys, is exactly where it wants to be. So look, all in all, you've got some good tides this week. You've got a 5 o'clock low tide tomorrow morning and around about 11:30 high. As you can see here now, it is the run-in tide and the water is still quite good. But there's no reason why you won't catch ludric down here at Nauru. Certainly some beautiful ludric getting caught up around Lucy's Wall and back down towards the bridge. Weed, of course, a little bit hard, certainly some wire weed up in the back of the lagoon. So just got to move around a little bit. Enjoy the weekend, rug up, it's going to get cold. And the special for the weekend, just probably in relation to what's going on with the tail dancers and the tailor, we're going to do a special on our Rapala tail dancers, guys. 20% off all tail dancers in store, or if you want to bulk buy, we'll do 3 for $65 this weekend for our listeners only. And hopefully we'll have some great news about offshore next Friday. I'll see you then.